KFC in Central City. Do I need to come down there and show you how to make chicken? Now, howdy folks, I'm Colonel Sanders and you're not. It's been about a month since I filed my complaint and my review about Kentucky Fried Chicken in Central City, Kentucky, and the poor service we received, followed by the harassment by the GM and ASM and the things that they said towards customers and myself online. This includes, but is not limited to, insulting me for my family relation, insulting me for my content simply because I said the food that we paid for was not good and that we were missing items, and also cussing at customers for complaining about soggy chicken or aligning with my views of how the service is there. I applaud Kentucky Fried Chicken Corporate for responding promptly. Not just promptly, but the day after I filed my complaint. For more information, they wanted the screenshots of the managers of what they said, and they wanted more information about my experience. So I gave that to them. They said they'd get back soon after forwarding it to the appropriate team. It has been a month. I am part of the AKFCF group, which is the Association of Kentucky Fried Chicken Franchisees. I have acquired a spot in that group because of the connections that I have made through the Kentucky Fried Chicken brand, and these people are all loving people of the Kentucky Fried Chicken brand. I know this because I see how they treat each other in the group and how they talk highly of their employees. What I don't see much of is valued food services in there. But CEO Jon Blob is in there, and I contacted him about his location here. Before I go into this, I'm going to read you something. Articles online are talking about value food service expanding with KFC acquisition. And they talk about Jon Blob and their commitment to the best quality and best experiences. You're going to scroll down a bit. They say the expansion is spearheaded by Valued Food Services CEO Jon Blob, an experienced professional in the quick service restaurant industry. The acquisition has been made possible with financial support from Blackburn Partners, indicating backing for the company's growth initiatives. Blob said, "We are excited to continue to grow our KFC restaurant footprint with this transaction, our third KFC acquisition of the year. The area around Nashville is experiencing strong economic tailwinds, and we are excited to grow our presence in this region in the future. This investment in growth is a testament to our conviction in Kentucky Fried Chicken brand and our commitment to delivering best-in-class experiences for our team members and customers." Well, Jon Blob, I'm one of your customers. We were outed $70 just about on our meal. We were shortened items. We were ignored twice when we called. We had to wait 40 minutes for our meal. We watched them cut corners and deep fry our chicken when it was supposed to be original recipe pressure fried like my uncle had intended and designed. Not only this, but your GM in Central City, Kentucky, at that Kentucky Fried Chicken, reached out through Facebook and TikTok. And as I quote them saying I was bashing their store, they were bashing me for complaining and honestly reviewing my experience at that Kentucky Fried Chicken, which apparently over 600 people share the same experience. And everything else I am hearing coming out of that store from customers is just getting worse. And I really think you guys should look into this, because what you're saying here is not what is happening at your store. My complaint has now been ignored for a month. Corporate did their job. They forwarded it to the appropriate team. Value Food Service is not responding to my complaint. I want to see a new sign out there saying, under new management, come see us, or I want you to close this location. Because it's just an embarrassment to my family legacy and the good Kentucky Fried Chicken franchisees. And if you have good managers and employees on your team, it makes them look bad too. Go back to this video, watch it all. If you want to know the receipts, you want to see what the managers said to me and how they attacked me and other customers, go to the videos that are in this playlist here, both on YouTube and TikTok, the Central City Kentucky Fried Chicken Review. This is the 15th video in that installment. I have sent over 7 emails following up on my complaint. Dead in the water. No response. I am unhappy. When your GM on Facebook Messenger promised a free meal and a refund when we didn't ask for that, we just asked for this to be corrected. Then I get a notification that my post got shared, and I see the GM that talked to me on Messenger cussing at customers for aligning with my views and having similar experiences and daring to say something about it. Not only this, but they are blaming the bucket for the soggy chicken, not their negligence. When the bucket, since the 1950s when it was designed, has had the holes in the lid which was sufficient enough to ventilate the steam coming off the chicken. I just had to research this myself, and I did a test with your buckets as well. They are perfect for ventilation. That video is on YouTube. It's about 15 minutes long and it's worth the watch. So not only do you have employees saying inaccurate things about the supplies that you have for Kentucky Fried Chicken, but you have employees insulting me, a customer, not only the founder's nephew, but a customer, for my content that I'm posting, my finances, saying that I can never buy back Kentucky Fried Chicken, and until I do, don't tell them how to cook. You have them cussing at other customers, inciting violent threats and comments under their post. One guy said I should have my head bashed in. I brought this to the GM's attention, let her know, hey, we don't appreciate this. I am not going to come back to this store. Not only do I feel not safe, but it's completely unprofessional to be conducting business this way. After cussing out the customers, she added that she's right here on Facebook. Come to her through her personal Facebook page to conduct the business and file your complaints. That's completely unprofessional. So if waiting 40 minutes for your meal, cutting corners for your meal, missing items that you paid extra for, and harassment from the GM, foul language from the GM and ASM, harassments and personal messaging by the ASM seeking out the accounts, and personal attacks and insults on my character, on my content, and on my finances and my family, if that is part of your commitment to delivering best-in-class experiences for our team members and customers, you got another thing coming, because that is not best service. And you're right, I'm very unhappy about this, and I said I wasn't going to let this go. If my uncle was alive today and he saw this, your franchising agreement would be revoked if he still owned it. I'm not quite sure what he would do after he sold out if you were behaving this way. So the complaint is going ignored. It doesn't look good. And with the hundreds of comments of people that are saying the same similar things at that location, it really does not look good. The only reason why I'm still making videos on it is because apparently reaching out the proper way is not your guys' expertise. People from your team only like to see the social media posts, from what it seems, and then attack me for making them. But in case anybody wants to deny any wrongdoing, if they want to deny that the food was soggy, if they want to deny that they even said anything on social media instead of doing the customer service job, I have all the receipts posted in the playlist here and on YouTube under the Central City Kentucky Fried Chicken review. Needless to say, until I see signs that say under new management, I will not be back. My family will not be back. And you may not care, but it's pretty embarrassing to have the founder of the restaurant that you are running, the founder's family, not eat at your establishment because it's not living up to the standards of Kentucky Fried Chicken or the standards of Colonel Harlan Sanders himself. That's pretty embarrassing in my opinion. I will go out of my way to recommend to everybody else to drive to Corbin, Kentucky to go to a JRN franchise, go to a KBP brand franchise, literally any other franchise other than one that is owned by Value Food Services based on this experience that I've had. It should not take a month to get back to me about what you're going to do. What should happen, and I've talked to other franchisees and managers about this, what should happen, the GM should be fired and terminated immediately from their position. The ASM should be terminated from their position as well. New management should be put into place, whether that's sent from corporate, sent from your corporate, whatever it is, new management needs to be put in place. If you cannot correct the problems and they continue to be bad and the work ethic does not improve, then you need to close the location because it's giving your company a bad rep and it's giving the Kentucky Fried Chicken Company a bad rep. And if you refuse to do anything about it, I urge corporate to close this location themselves or to revoke your franchising license. I don't care how long you've been in the business or how experienced you are. This is not it. And for everyone else that keeps leaving reviews on my page, I appreciate that you trust me enough to come to me with those reviews, that you feel that your voice is heard more. And that's just further proof the brand should hire me to represent them. I'll make sure that I am representing them with the most honor. I will not defend a bad location. I'll do my job at representing the brand. If there's a bad location, it needs to go to the customer service teams, and you need to hound them to do their job. Again, I applaud corporate. They responded to me immediately. I do not applaud this franchisee. When I talked to other franchisees, they said they would have replied within 24 hours, and it would have been resolved then, and leading up to and including a termination of the GM. Do I have your attention now? Feel free to respond to my email.